Hey everybody, welcome back to our Nexus where we spotlight some of our favorite local businesses. I'm really excited for you all to get to meet my guest today. This is Joel Greene. He's with Robbers Cave, and he is the tour extraordinaire at the cave. So I have had the pleasure of going through a few of his tours, and it is an absolute riot. It's just crazy what you get to see on that tour. So welcome. So today I'm really excited to have you here, Joel.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Glad you like the tours.
Oh my gosh, it's so cool down there. I had no idea that existed, but before we get into more about the cave, I want to have the guests or our audience have a chance to get to know you and just a little bit about your background and how you got to be the head tour giver.
Sure. Well, I'm originally from Lincoln. I grew up a huge basketball fan, and so after college, I moved to Philadelphia so I could work for the 76ers. That led into a job with the Cleveland Cavaliers. I did some public relations. When I moved back to Nebraska, there were two really interesting places nothing was written about. Robbers Cave was one, Capitol Beach was the other. So back in 2007, I started a book on the cave. It came out in 2018 and actually won a Nebraska Book Award in 2019, and the tours really took off.
Yeah.
I have a younger sister who worked at the restaurant above the cave, and she's actually my foot in the door for starting tours. But
Cool.
The restaurant's no longer there. It's a really nice event venue now.
Yeah.
But the cave tours never stopped. They're still 7 days a week year round.
That's crazy. So it sounds like you do a ton of writing. You're also a teacher, right?
Yeah, I've been at Irving Middle School for 15 years. I've been with LPS 17 years altogether. And that's why the tours are from 3:30 to 10 during the week, 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. on the weekends.
Yeah.
And a lot of the tours are booked into 2023 already, so it's very busy.
Super busy. And it sounds like you even use your lunch break to
I do, yeah.
get out there
In order
and
to
give a
get
couple
the
tours.
folks that pass through Lincoln and call you up and really want a tour, oftentimes I just shoot down the street from Irving and give it a 45-minute tour.
It's good that you're close enough that you can do that.
It works out well.
Yeah. So what do you teach?
I teach 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade language arts for the highly gifted students.
That's awesome.
One of my many jobs.
Yeah, you're a multi-talented person.
Thanks.
So tell us a little bit more about the cave and what it's like if you're kind of trying to organize a group of people to go through the cave.
Okay. Well, Robbers Cave is about 5,600 square feet. It's just south of downtown. It was sealed up for about 3 decades, so there's generations of people that have no idea it's even there.
Yeah.
I learned about it as a little kid from a book, Guide to the Ghosts of Lincoln, and I couldn't understand why it wasn't open for tours. Luckily, Robbers Cave LLC formed and cleaned it all up, and I've been giving tours for the past 6 years. It's 50 degrees in the tunnels year-round, so the tours are every day, even in the wintertime. The temperature never changes.
It feels great down there.
Doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just like the perfect temperature.
It's a good place to go in the summer, and
Yeah.
even when it's 30 below and windy, you'll have grandmas bringing grandkids in and things, looking for things to do. So, it's really unique, and it's just a lot of fun. It's something different every time. Most of the visitors are actually from out of state. Just
so
over
cool.
Easter, it was 17 states and 3 different countries in 2 days that came to visit the cave.
Do you remember the countries that were visiting?
I do. It was Ulm, Germany, Switzerland, and Birmingham, UK.
Oh my goodness, that's amazing. I'm so happy to hear that there's enough interest and people are able to find it when they're looking for things to do in Lincoln, because it's so unique.
What really helps that is Atlas Obscura. If you've never heard of that, it's a big New York Times best-selling book that documents all the weirdest places, not in the country, but the world.
Really?
And Robbers Cave is a part of that.
Oh my goodness. So how did it get on that list, or did they just...
I had to type up a submission and explain everything about the cave. Yep.
Good for you to do that. You're getting Lincoln notice.
There's an Atlas Obscura app, and when people come through, it pops up as an experience to visit,
Okay, I wish I had a pen. I need to write this down. I'll go back and listen.
Yeah, I'll tell you about
I
it.
definitely want to check out random obscure places whenever I go traveling.
Absolutely. It's a great app, and Robbers Cave fits the bill.
For sure. So, from what I gather, tell us a little bit more about kind of the history of the cave and what some of the fun features are that people can see when they're on a tour.
Well, the tour is about 45 minutes to an hour, and it really is one of the coolest places in Nebraska. It was a 2020 Outstanding Tourist Destination finalist, and this year it's actually a 2022 passport stop. So there'll be people coming from all over, and hopefully that'll help spread the word so that Nebraskans can come see the cave.
Yeah.
And maybe we'll even out the out-of-staters with the Nebraskans, because a lot of times there's that situation where you don't realize the hidden gems here in your own area.
Yeah.
But you'll come in, and it's just a really strange place with a lot of interesting history. It was Lincoln's first brewery, used it to lager beer. It was a brothel at one time.
Yeah.
There was a lot of gambling and horse thievery going on after the brothel burned down. There was also a daycare up to the 60s. There was a gun range, hopefully not at the same time as the daycare, right?
Yeah, right.
After that, there was just a lot of dances. There was even an exotic and tropical fish shop involved. So you name it, the cave was used for everything. The family that had it for generations was out there, a very eclectic, eccentric family.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I absolutely love seeing pictures from different points in time during the cave's history, because it's so different, and seeing there's quite a few carvings in the walls, so those date back, like, when's the oldest one that you can really...
1870s.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, you're right. When you first walk into the cave, it's very disorienting. Every single inch of the cave is covered with 150 years of activity.
Yeah.
And what makes that cave so strange is most sandstone is beautifully smooth because it's exposed to the elements, And most caves are made out of limestone, and they have the stalactites and stalagmites. What makes Robbers Cave so unique is that anything that ever happened in there is pretty much stuck in the walls. It's like a time capsule.
It is. It's totally preserved in time. And, if it ever got exposed to any elements, like that sand would just wash away, because it's
very
so fine.
Really
Yeah.
Yep,
yeah.
Exactly.
Wear flat-footed shoes. That's one tip. Pro tip.
Good tip. Yep.
Yeah. What are some other tips that we should be giving people if they go on a tour?
Well, the temperature is 50 to 55, so it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
And it's like walking on a beach, bumpy, sandy floor.
Yeah.
So, and you got to book the tours in advance, all due to popularity. It's not something where you can just show up and expect to walk into a cave.
Yeah.
Yep, you got to book in advance.
And they can do that online.
Yeah, robberscavetours.com has all the information. All you do is call, text, or email me how many in your party and what day you want to visit.
That's
awesome. And then I check the availability for you.
Yeah, and you found our show through Grow Nebraska, right?
I did, yeah. Grow Nebraska helped me out with all the business side of things with selling the book. They sell a lot of merchandise for me and a lot of coffee. There's a Robbers Cave Blend coffee that the mill makes for me.
Oh, cool.
And the book sales, the T-shirts, the pint glasses, and things like that. And I also utilize a lot of the classes that Grow Nebraska puts out online. Learn a lot from those.
Yeah, so for other people that are trying to start an e-commerce business or really any business, we're a member just as to be a resource for other members of the organization and just a way to get in front of some other businesses. But yeah, it's definitely an organization that can help you if you're selling things B2C, right?
I'd agree with that.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, they're great people too. So, okay, so one of the other cool things that I found out on one of the tours was that you find a lot of history. What are some of the cool things that you've found or you've heard other people have found in the cave?
Well, something that was pretty neat, a lot of times folks that used to play in the cave as kids will come back as adults and find their carvings, and it kind of makes for a good photo.
Yeah.
A lot of first dates, first kisses. There's even people that get engaged in the cave. There's been probably a dozen weddings in the cave. But I also had an idea that I wanted the Husker football team to come do tunnel walk photos in the cave. And
cool.
I asked almost every year for about 3 or 4 years, and it finally worked out. And in about 2 4-hour photo shoots, we had all the tunnel walk shot in the cave for the season. And what was really neat about having the football team down there was they had their cleats on. So they were mashing up and mauling up old impacted sand that hadn't been disturbed in decades. And so the next day when I was giving these little summer day camp tours for these Pioneers Park Nature Center kids, we're finding bullets all over the floor, guitar picks all over the floor, all this stuff that had gotten worked up from way down below.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh,
you'd have
that's
thought they found
amazing.
diamonds.
Oh, I bet.
It was cool. Yeah, I gotta
Treasure.
learn how to make shadow boxes because I got this pile of old lead just sitting on my dresser.
Oh my goodness, that's
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah, so the shooting range, like, I mean, you'd think it would cause all of this damage, but I mean, it definitely, you can see holes in the wall
It goes
from.
right into the wall. It's so
Yeah.
soft. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Mhm.
it really, I think it's so dense, like you said, it just didn't create like a super amount of damage.
It's
Yeah.
not gonna bounce off and hit
Yeah.
anybody or whatever. So
Yeah.
honestly, I've never tried it, so I couldn't tell you about that.
Right.
But the guy that owned the cave, like I said, they were a pretty eclectic family, so I
Yeah.
don't think he would have cared. He actually drove. His name was Ed Scarborough Jr. He drove an old Hearst, a 1932 black Cadillac LaSalle Hearst full of guns.
Oh, you're kidding.
Yeah, and that was basically his playground. Just isn't
Yeah,
that crazy?
just had some fun with
Yeah.
shooting his guns
Blow off
down
some
there.
steam or something. I don't know.
That's such a great last name for the story.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
been in their family for 4 generations.
That's cool.
JW wanted the mushroom garden. Fred had an exotic and tropical fish shop there. Ed Jr.'s dad was a prison warden, and Ed Jr. grew up on the property. So
Huh.
luckily
That's
he was
wild.
still alive, and I was able to interview him, get a lot of information about the place.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
What are some of your plans for going forward? Do you have new stories that you're going to write another book, or
Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to do an updated version of the book just because of all the new stories. I also get photos mailed from me all over the country from people that used to run
Awesome.
around there. And as word continues to spread, I keep getting these photos. I'd also like to spread the word for Nebraskans through the Passport program. And there's also a movie coming out based on the book. There was a film crew from Tennessee that bought an option on the book to turn it into a film. So
Oh, wow. Well, that's exciting. When is that going to shoot, or has it already?
probably within the next year or two. They
Oh my
actually
gosh.
came and filmed everything back in January. So
I'm definitely going to be watching out for that.
yeah. it should be
So,
an
what kind
interesting
of
movie.
movie is it? Literally
Documentary
historical.
About the book. Yeah, you don't
So
have
did they
to
do
make any-
like costume and everything? Because like the
If they-
dances were like it was really
Yeah.
elaborate.
We did some
gowns.
reenactments with my
Yeah.
daughter and things with the daycare and things, but you don't have to make anything up. The place is so strange. It was just
Yeah.
it's a documentary about the book.
Cool, super cool. So I'll have to look out for the new version, and it'll probably have more pictures then, right?
Yeah, I have a lot of new
Yeah.
photos. Mhm.
Yeah. What else are you hoping to do since you have such a wide range of jobs and everything that you're interested in? What's your plan?
The plan was to write the Capitol Beach book. I grew up out by
Yeah.
Capitol Beach, and there was boxing matches, baseball games, presidential stump speeches, roller coaster, dance hall, hot air balloon ascension field, racetrack. And when I was a little kid, you could climb around on some of the old rides.
Uh-huh.
A lot of people in Lincoln have no idea that was even out there.
I just heard about that.
Yeah,
I think it was yesterday.
really?
Of all of the things and
Mhm.
all of the
That
things
was
that
gonna
you'd be
my-
interested in, that was
going to be my second book, but I put that off to the side for the Robbers
Yeah.
Cave movie.
And it was because someone had sent out the Historical Society around College View had sent out information about trolleys, like a trolley system that used to be
Yeah.
Sheridan Boulevard. And I didn't know anything about this.
Mhm.
And then they were saying that this amusement park was out at Capitol Beach. And
Yep, they built a line out to the lake.
Yeah.
There was saltwater bathing. A lot of people don't realize that was salt water, salt
Yeah.
flats out there.
yeah.
The trolley that Lincoln used to have streetcars, and the directions to the Robbers Cave on the old souvenir booklet, it said, ride the streetcar to the penitentiary and walk to High Street.
Right. And you'd totally run
And you'd be
right
like-
into it.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
The cave was basically Lincoln's like first tourist destination.
Oh my gosh, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yep.
Do you have any pictures of those trolleys? I can't believe this whole story.
Yeah, they're out there. I have a picture of the souvenir booklet.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
cool. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
Well, is there anything else that you want to tell our audience today? Is there anything as like a business owner that you have advice for other business owners or anything like that?
I'd recommend checking out Grow Nebraska and utilizing
Yeah.
their resources. Keep an eye out for the upcoming movie about the cave, and if you haven't
Yeah.
visited, definitely go to robberscavetours.com and give me a call and book a tour.
Awesome. Yeah, I definitely recommend it. Anyone that hasn't seen the cave definitely needs to get out there and check it out. And then anyone in Lincoln that used to go to the cave and has a fun story, you should also reach out to Joel and share that via The website, could they submit that?
Yeah, you can come back to the cave because it's going to look and smell a lot better than the last time they were there.
That's fair.
Yeah, it's all cleaned up now.
Oh, and we should talk about the bats. There's like an endangered species, right?
I never see them. There's a whole tunnel specifically for
Yeah.
the bats. Game and Parks comes out and checks on them and makes sure that they don't have the white nose syndrome, but there's a blacked off tunnel that's meshed off so that they can continue to hibernate there from fall to spring.
Yeah. And they can technically go in and out and...
They fly in and out through the old fireplace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's really cool. So
Yep.
any of our bat enthusiasts might be interested in that.
That's right. That's right.
Well, thank you so much for
My
being on the
pleasure.
show today. It's definitely a unique topic and something very fun for our community. And it was really cool to hear about the Atlas
Obscura.
Obscura.
Mhm.
I'm going to check that out. So
Definitely check that out.
yeah, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
My
It was
pleasure.
fun talking to you today.
Likewise.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We'll see you in a couple weeks.